This is a quick video if you have a Samsung television, let's see, modeled UN3EH5000FXZA. And the problem with the television is that it turns on, and pretty much as soon as it turns on, you hear the Samsung chime if it's still on, dun 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 dun. And then you'll see like the input or some information on the screen really quick, and then it turns off. And then it turns itself back on, and then it turns itself back off, turns itself back on. So if that's the problem that you're having, for myself, right away, you know, if you have any experience with electronics, usually know power loops and stuff are a power board issue. Hopefully a capacitor, because then that's an easy thing to fix and cheap. If not, a power board will probably cost you a little bit more, but depending on the cost of your TV, how long you've had it, etc., your needs is what you want to do. Well, for us, just checking it out first is always the thing to do. So as you see, the TV is on the bottom, and there's the replacement TV on top. And I've already taken it apart. This was the power board. Usually the power board, for whatever reason, is always on the upper right side of the TV when I take it apart, at least the several, maybe like 5, 6, 7 TVs that I've ever worked on. And you can see the capacitors. The capacitors are these little, let's see if I get my finger on there, these things here. And they disperse large amounts of energy for specific parts to the board, which go to parts of the TV. And that's kind of the role versus a battery that has lower amounts of power for longer amounts of time. So you want to look at the capacitors, and you can see that this capacitor here is pretty flat. And then if you go to this capacitor over here, you can tell it's kind of raised, like it should be flat on the top. Let's see, sorry, I only got one hand. This is like more flat on the top, and this one is somewhat rounded. Rounded is usually a sign that the capacitor is bad, beyond the fact that there's all that black crap coming out of it on the bottom. And let's see, I've already gone ahead and unsoldered that and taken it off. And what you want to do is look on your capacitor here, and it will give you the information regarding the capacitor. So you see here it's 200 volts and 47 UF, and I think there's usually like a temperature thing on here, 105 degrees Celsius. So I've already gone ahead and I went to Amazon and I bought a replacement that just arrived here, and came in like 2 days. Panasonic EU capacitor tells you the information there, and I have it here. So all you have to do is just cut those little things off. If you got a soldering iron, which is also very inexpensive, this capacitor was a little bit less than $6 and got it in 2 days. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut that off and cut it into pieces and put it back on the board, and we'll go from there. Okay, and I guess one thing that I should say, explain that when you're putting in your capacitors, there's little marks on the board to let you know what side is supposed to have, like, I guess it's a positive and a negative. So you have this little strip here, and there's usually, like you can see here, there's like a half circle filled in here, and then that side is empty, and you can see that there's this capacitor here, and so it has like this half circle with this stripe with a negative going down. So you want to obviously put your capacitor back in the same way that it came off the board, otherwise that would be bad. So just to kind of explain that really quick, when your capacitors do come out, like one of mine had been broken off, so it took a little working and some pliers to get the little tiny piece of wire out, but since that is now, I'll be soldering this bad boy in there, and that put it back together, everything should be fine. So go back. So there you go, you got the new capacitor on the board, and it looks ready to go there.
He always eats so fast.
And my dad is a fast eater. And as you can see again, the TV works fine with no problems. Turned on, was stuck in the loop, but it just completely turned on. And fortunately, it works. Unfortunately, it's Fox News back on again. But anyway, there's your repair. It's TMF cause. Hope you get your TV fixed. Bye.